Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are doing the correct way, in my opinion, correct order to apply makeup. I'm doing a voiceover because it's so hot. I can't film in that room and not have a fan on, and the fan's too loud for the microphones. So we're going to start off with eye cream. I've washed my face and used toner. Eye cream is always my go-to. I use eye cream under eye makeup just because it stops all the dryness and the patchiness. Eyeshadow tends to go on a lot smoother. Eye primer goes on a lot smoother as well. You notice I'm really getting in on this corner. I'm quite dehydrated in that area, so I wanted to make sure I was really applying it a good coating. So if you have dry skin, good moisturizer. If you have oily skin, a lightweight serum. A hyaluronic acid serum is a good one. By the way, if I spell anything wrong in this list, please ignore it. You'll notice I'm really pushing this product into the skin. I don't want anything sitting on top. I want it to be all in my skin, become part of my skin. And then optional, a hydrating mist if you feel you need that little bit of extra hydration. You absolutely don't need to do this. I just like to. Yeah, I'm going to dry my brows because we're going into eyebrows next. Just using the brow gel. I've just had mine laminated, so I don't need to use like my extra stronghold soap or anything like that. So do your brow gel, your brow pencil, pen, whatever it is you're using. Do that now. Give your skincare like a chance to become and do what it needs to do. Now I'm going to blot away any excess skincare. This is for everyone with dry skin, oily skin, whatever skin type you have. Any excess sitting on top of the skin, just blot that away. You don't want a barrier between your skincare and your foundation. Sorry, your skin and your foundation. Primer, if you need it. You don't always need primer. I felt particularly like dehydrated on my cheeks and my nose this day and in between my brows, so I used a primer just to give myself a little bit of something extra. SPF goes on now. You need it. No arguments. Okay, eye primer. This goes on next. I use a little bit on my lid and then I gently like buff that out with my finger. Just so I get like the main coverage on the eyelid where I'm oilier, and then I gently kind of like take that up to the brow. I am being gentle. It doesn't look like I am, but I really am. Yeah. Tuck it into the inside there, and I sometimes take a little bit just in the outside corner of my eye. Eyeshadow is next, but just the upper half of our eyeshadow. We're going to use a bottom waterline to another time. I'm going to start with the lighter colors first that I'm using, wherever you're using them. I don't know what I'm doing today, but I start with the lighter color, then go in a little bit darker. And then I'm just going to carry this almost like a wing outwards. These eyeshadows, by the way, from Mina, blend beautifully. I absolutely love these. Take your time with this. You don't want too much falling onto your skin, but what we will do if we have any fallout, we'll take our primer, whatever the last skincare product we use, on a cotton pad or a sponge and just use that to wipe away the excess eyeshadow that has fallen down. I do the eyes first before my foundation because of fallout. It's so much easier to correct it with skincare before your foundation. Otherwise, you end up taking everything off or smudging the eyeshadow, doing whatever. And I've edited this before I did the voiceover, so I'm just trying to talk to fill up time. But yeah, really just making sure I'm being quite precise. I then do any kind of highlight shade because usually it's like a cream or it's a different texture. Then I go into my concealer. Oh, I did some eyeshadow on my lid. Under my eyes first. Color corrector goes before this if you're going to use it. And I like to my concealer now because I like to use that as a base for the shadow underneath. Under our eyes is drier than a lid, so it's fine to use a concealer there, of course. And I also like to use a concealer to cut off my eyeshadow shape if I'm doing more of a winged kind of look as well. You'll see I do it now. And it just gives me a little bit more structure to the eyeshadow and then a little bit more guidance when I'm doing underneath my eyes as well. Optional, if you go for a lighter concealer, if you really like to highlight, then do that now. I personally just press it into the areas where I'm applying it. I don't take it the whole way across because that's where I like the highlights to be. So that's all I do. What am I looking for? What was I checking it? I don't even know. By the way, I have a bit of a fake tan issue with my beard, so if you see those lines, apologies. Now it's time for under the eyes of our eyeshadow, being very gentle. You notice I'm leaning slightly forward, and that's in case any eyeshadow that falls is going to fall forward and not on my face. So as gentle as we can be, it's a lot less to tidy up if we've just done concealer, because then we can just kind of wipe it away and add a concealer back on top. And I don't think I show it in this, but I do take another clean brush and I'll gently buff out that eyeshadow underneath to make it really fluffy. Then I randomly decided to add some blue in here. I don't know why. Foundation. We're going to do foundation next. I usually start with the center of a face and buff out, but today I just wanted to get the coverage on. So I'm still starting from the middle of wherever and then taking it outwards towards the ear. And I always start with the bottom half of a face and then go into my forehead. Usually I don't have any product on my forehead. I will go on with my brush first and see how much I have left on my brush. If you have any blemishes, I forgot to add this in, concealer will go on now on top of those blemishes. Okay, controversial. I like to start with bronzer first. So we're going to do our cheeks. I like to start with bronzer because to me, bronzer kind of halos contour. And I want the contour to be like quite a strong color. And I'm using two creams, so they don't tend to outdo each other. Like the contour shade doesn't really change with the bronzer. However, this isn't my usual contour shade. I couldn't find it, but I just wanted to show you. So then I do the contour where I feel I need more structure, because bronzer still has a bit of structure, but I wanted to add the contour where I feel I needed more depth and a little bit more emphasis on that structure, if that makes sense. Blush. Blush is going to go just above my bronzer, not touching my contour, or just on the high points of my bronzer. And if you want to, onto the apples of the cheek. Totally up to you how you're doing it that day. However you're feeling, whatever face shape you're feeling that day. And then blush is going to be followed up with highlighter, whether that's powder, liquid, cream, whatever it is you want to do. Yeah, I don't think, I was going to say some people do something different, but I don't know if they do. I prefer to do it this way, just so I can control the highlighter and kind of let the highlighter sit and let our skin, if you're oily, you know, it will get oily anyway. So then I can kind of see how the highlighter and the shine looks together. Mascara is next. Being careful we're not touching any parts of our face with a mascara. Now, if you're just done, if you're not doing false lashes, I would powder and then do mascara, and then you're good to go. But because we're doing false lashes, I want to put mascara on first, add the lashes so I can pinch them together with the mascara. I had to change the font color because you couldn't read it anymore because it was getting so much smaller. Yeah. And I've also done liner pencil in the waterline. You can do this at whatever stage you like. Lip products. Lip balm could have gone on with skincare if you wanted to. So lipstick, lip gloss. It doesn't matter where you do liner, if you do it before or after. Before to stop it bleeding and add structure, and after to tidy up is always a good way to do it. Powder, so I'm only doing this where I am oily, so I take it down the sides of a nose and then I touch a tiny bit. Can you see how I'm twisting the thing so it doesn't touch the highlight? I'm just using the edge to get right underneath my under eye. I do blend in that powder on the left side of my face in just a moment with a brush, so it doesn't look like that. And then I'm just blotting any areas that are slightly shiny. And then we're done. That's it. That is my order of how I apply makeup to whoever, to myself, to anyone. Thank you so much. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.